Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. Just waiting for Amy to get here. As soon as she gets here, we will get started. How is everyone today? Good to see everybody. There's Amy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm excited to be here with you all today. Thank you so much for coming out. I like to get started on time, so we're going to get started right away. I appreciate you all coming. I've had the blessing and privilege to know Amy. She's just been a guest on the Mel Mason Show. Her episode airs tomorrow, and I personally love using essential oils, so I love hosting this class with her because I talk about clearing the clutter from the inside out, and essential oils work right down at the cellular level. So how much more inside can you get, right? So without any further ado, let me turn this meeting over to the essential oils guru, Amy Grussing. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Mel, for having me. Super excited to be here. Ever since I've met Mel, I'm sure many of you have heard her a little bit of her story and her talk, but do you not look at your everything differently? From your drawers to whatever's going on in your life? That word clutter, I have a whole new appreciation because of Mel. So thank you for having me, Mel. I love you, and I'm just super excited to be here. And I'm going to be sharing, I think Mel might have the handout. You can just either listen, or if she puts it in the chat, follow along.
I'll the link in a second. Yeah, I'll go get it.
Okay. And the class today is Essential Oils Made Easy. So you're going to learn some really great takeaway tips, things, 3 cool things about oils, 3 cool ways to use the oils, and different tips about each oil, and just small ways. I mean, each oil has numerous different uses for it, but you're going to get some really great takeaway tips from sleep to anxiety to, bug bites, anything that you can imagine. So I encourage you to grab a pen and take some notes. And then if you have any questions, we might have a little time at the end, but otherwise I'm going to have 15-minute free consultations for each of you so that we can specifically talk about your specific case and what might
So
be.
Amy, I don't have the PDF, like a booklet. I only have the link for the kits. I don't have a link for the booklet to drop.
Okay, well, we can always maybe email that out.
Yeah, we'll email it. So I've got everybody's email. We'll email it out to you. Make sure you get it. Just make sure you email it to me, Amy.
Yeah, I will do that. So I encourage you to take a pen, like I said, a pen and paper. And then at the very end, you might be wondering how you can get these kits into your home. And absolutely no pressure, but I will share at the end, if you want to get the essential oils into your home, how you can do that. And then one last other thing, you might be thinking of different people beside yourself that might be able to use the oils. And so definitely jot their names down, and I'll be sharing a free gift that I will be giving away at the end. So let's get started. So 3 very cool things about essential oils is, first of all, they are safe. And I'm going right off my handout just so I can stay on track here. But I want you to make sure, if you learn anything today, you listen and learn about, because there's essential oils are all over the place. You might even see them, the health food stores, but I've even seen them at Walmart. But not every essential oil is the same. So they are natural, safe. They're benefits without side effects, and they're actually the extract from the plant. So it could be from the bark, it could be from the flower. So different parts of the plant, they extract the oil. But what makes ours unique, these are the doTERRA essential oils. And I'm going to see if you can see, this is lemon oil I have right here. So what's amazing about doTERRA is that they are certified pure therapeutic grade. And I want you to know that what I like to say, the 3 T's. When you're looking at an essential oil, you want to know that company. First, is it a trusted company that is transparent and the oils are tested? So those are the 3 T's: trusted, transparent, and tested. So with doTERRA, they actually have over 50 tests in their third party testing, and they at 3 different times along the process they will test the essential oils, and if they don't meet that third party requirement, they do not produce it. So they're very, very strict at making sure that the oil that's in this bottle is a complete pure essential oil. And so one other tip to take away is the bottles might say 100% pure oil on them, but if you don't, like I said, if you don't see that they, well, first of all, this shows a supplement label, and I think it's a little hard to see because I have my background, but there's a FDA shows that this actual oil is able to be taken internally. So isn't that, it's amazing. Yeah. So you can take this internally. And I wanted to show you one of my favorite oils is peppermint, which I have right here. All right, so this is the peppermint oil. There is a label on there. And this one I'm going to show you. I always like to start my class with this. I put 1 drop in the palm of my hand and I rub it through. And I'm taking some really deep breaths. And that is because peppermint, and this is the first one on here, is energizing. It promotes clear breathing, so it's helping open. It cools down the body, so it's super great. Mel, we know, loves the heat. That's when she's working out. But if she's trying to go to bed and you're hot, guess what? I love putting peppermint like right on my forehead and on the back of my neck to cool me down. So if you have children or grandchildren, it actually helps their body cool down if they have fevers. It's also super good for this is amazing. 1 drop of peppermint oil is the same as 28 cups of peppermint tea. It's pretty crazy. So the first thing, they're safe. You can take them internally as long as you know who the company is. Second, they're effective. And this is an effective way to address the root cause of the health problem. And this is really cool. If any of you are in the medical world, this might be really, really, really simple for you. But I like to explain this because it's really helpful for me to understand and for everyone. So if you think of this as a cell, my fist, every single cell has an oily membrane around the outside of the cell, and that protects the cell. Well, what happens if you get sick and you go to the doctor and they give you an antibiotic? Well, it's going to kill the bacteria around the outside of the cell. But if you have a virus, they usually say drink chicken broth, make sure you drink your water, get your sleep, and go to bed. And there's not a lot of things that they can give you. But because the cell is an oily membrane, the essential oil can pass through the oily membrane and keep that virus from duplicating. So it's amazing. It's powerful. So it can weaken the virus. And so the one that's listed here is On Guard. This promotes healthy immune function. It soothes the irritated throat. So the minute that I feel like I'm getting like a cough or something that's bothering my throat, I'll put 1 drop of On Guard into water, just like a couple ounces of water, and then I gargle it and then swallow it. Now, some people don't maybe like the taste. I tend to have a lot of sore throats and things, but if you just want to get it in, you can actually use veggie capsules, those empty veggie capsules, and then you just drop a couple of drops in the veggie capsule. And so you can take this one internally. There is a supplement label on this one. And this is how I clean my toilets. So my son, since he's 19 now, but the minute I brought him home from the hospital, my mother-in-law was holding him and his whole body like broke out in eczema because she had perfume on. So anything that's not natural, his body would break out. And so I learned a lot that you can clean a lot of things with vinegar and baking soda. But when you add the power of essential oils, it's amazing. Let's see, Cheryl said it also helps her with heartburn and upset tummy. That's awesome, Cheryl. I love to hear from different people how different people use them. So yeah. And I know Mel, you can pop on and share it, because every single oil not only has physical benefits, it actually has emotional benefits. And so love hearing Mel's story. I know she had it in one of her emails, but tell me why you like On Guard, Mel.
So I love On Guard because I was actually having a boundary issue with someone in my life, and I started diffusing it, and within a couple of weeks, that person came to me and made amends to me and stopped violating my boundaries. So it's pretty powerful. I love it. I diffuse them in my room. I take them internally. I use them all the time. I love them.
Yes, awesome. I love that story. Thanks, Mel, for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So awesome. All right, so we know that they're safe, they're effective, they get through the oily membrane, and so they get to that root cause of any issues. But then third, they're affordable. This is pretty crazy, but $6.5 trillion a year is spent on global health care. But essential oils are just pennies per dose, and you can save money on natural solutions. So I like to tell a couple stories. The one I like to tell about how I save money in my house, this is called Breathe. And this one is not internal, but what this one is, helps open the airways. It has peppermint, but it also is a blend that has eucalyptus and some other oils in it. Now we were doing some remodeling in my home, and we have 13 steps that go up to the top stair, and there was a plumber that came upstairs to work on our bathroom. And this was just this last February or March. And I heard my husband yelling, Amy, get the Breathe oil. Well, the plumber had walked up those stairs and he was having an asthma attack. And he didn't have his inhaler. He was looking for his inhaler. So I ran up the Breathe oil to him. And just like I showed you guys, you just put the one drop. I got two, but that's okay. Rub it. And then for asthma, you kind of hold it like a cup. And you just took some deep breaths. Whoa, that is some strong stuff. And got right into this thing. It stopped his asthma attack immediately. And he did not need his inhaler. And so a dose is like 7-8 cents. And I think my son also has had asthma his whole life, and we no longer have to buy the inhaler because he uses the Breathe oil. I can't remember if it's like $65 or something for the inhaler, but this bottle itself, like I said, is just pennies per dose. And that's how we were able to save money. And so, yeah, when you have the kit of the top essential oils through doTERRA, you basically have your medicine cabinet covered naturally. So I love that. All right, so those were the three cool things about oils. They're safe, they're effective, and they're affordable. And the other one I want to mention here is lavender. That is one that it says is calming to the mind. It's actually calming to the skin. It really works really well with mosquito bites, which we have a lot here in Minnesota. Like bee stings. It's amazing. You can put the bee stings right on there, or right the lavender actually right on the bee sting, and it'll help calm it down, as well as burns. So lavender is amazing, just really calming. And I actually diffuse it every night when I'm going to bed, and it helps me with sleep. All right. So those are the three cool things. 3 ways to use the essential oils. First of all is aromatic, and I have a diffuser right here. I'm not sure you can see it. This is one of my favorite ones because I can actually charge this one and then move it wherever I want. So I'm diffusing it. So when you diffuse, like this is going into the air, it's actually cleansing the air. So one thing about On Guard, and I see your question, I'll get to it here in a second, Mondi. But so when you're diffusing the On Guard, there's actually a study that showed they did a test, and they were in a school setting. They had diffused it in the classroom, and they looked to see how much bacteria and microbials there were on the counter, and it actually was like significantly decreased the amount of germs. So it cleanses the air. And I'm kind of jumping all over here, but with the On Guard that I mentioned before, I now use the baking soda, and then I put On Guard in a spray bottle, and that's how I spray and clean the toilet. And it cleanses and cleanses, like I said, it kills all the germs. But Mondi, you're asking about mosquito bites. So peppermint actually can work directly on the mosquito bite, or lavender. Either of those work really well. So you just put them directly. And like I said, you want to make sure you have a pure essential oil, because the other oils will say that they're 100% pure if you buy them, even in a Whole Foods store, but there's no FDA regulation, and they can say that, but then there might be fillers of different oil. But this peppermint is really good, or lavender. And then it'll just take away that itch. So it works really well. All right. So I was sharing aromatic. Wild orange is one that is, so anytime you have a citrus oil, it's uplifting. So you think of like flowers as well as citrus, they're uplifting. And so wild orange here, you can diffuse it or inhale it for a positive effect of your mood. It'll cleanse the air, like I mentioned, and it opens airways. And so I actually like to put a citrus oil and peppermint together when I'm diffusing, because the peppermint will help with focus and help away, help the breathing, but then the orange or a citrus will be uplifting. So you can put them together. In fact, sometimes I actually put one drop of wild orange on one hand and one drop of peppermint on the other, and I rub them together, and then I get them both at the same time as a quick pick me up, especially in the afternoon if you need energy. Those both work really, really good. So that is wild orange. And the next way I'd already mentioned was topical. And that you can apply that directly for localized benefits. Now, I know Mel loves this when I talk about this. So there's, when you put something in, when you breathe it, like I was just showing you through your hands, did you know that, okay, most of us have all been in like a hospital situation where you had a surgery. And so what's the first thing that they do when you go in for a surgery? And they get you prepped up and they get you ready. But the anesthesiologist takes a mask and they put it over your face, don't they? And so they usually say count backwards from like 10 seconds, and you start counting backwards, and then immediately, like within like 5 seconds, you're asleep. That's because what they put on you circulated through your whole blood system in that short a time. So that's why what we breathe in is powerful. So it literally within 20 seconds circulates through our whole body. So and I like to share a story that I didn't realize I dealt with anxiety my whole life, and it wasn't until 3 years ago that I got to a point where my whole body, everything broke apart physically, my marriage, emotionally. I spent 6 weeks on the couch and could barely even walk. And so these essential oils have helped me powerfully with anxiety, especially with anxiety, like the lavender. We also have some different blends that are specifically made. There's one called Balance that really helps you feel balanced emotionally, whether if you need to be brought down or you need to be brought up. It's the whole idea of oils is to help you reach homeostasis, which means to be in balance. And so the oils, when you breathe them in, within 20 seconds they go through your whole body. But then when you put it on topically, whatever you're putting on your skin is your largest organ. So whatever you put on your skin, within 2 minutes, it circulates through your whole body. So I have a 17-year-old daughter. She likes to smell nice. She has learned, we call it pure fume instead of perfume.
I love that. I love that.
So I if she does ever put on perfume, she doesn't do it in front of me, and I don't see it. But I think she got rid of it all, because we can take, what's fun about the essential oils, when you have like a kit, you can actually make your own perfumes, pure fumes. And so you can make roller balls with them. And I love to teach my customers how to make different, recipes. But whatever you put on your skin is going to circulate within your body in 2 minutes. So you want to be really careful what you do. And so the two that are listed here for topical is Deep Blue. You can get it in a bottle, or you can get it in a rub. I happen to grab the rub here. So Mel knows me pretty well. I have been having all these different changes going on in my business and my family life and different things. I started finding myself, do you guys ever do this with your shoulders? Can you see where they are? And then you're like, why am I doing that? And then you have to get them back down. And then what I found out last week, I actually slept like that. And I woke up with a kink in my shoulder. So Deep Blue is super awesome for if you have achy joints or you get those knots in your shoulder. If you like to work out and you get stiff from working out, it's super good to wear. You put it just topically. My daughter's like a basketball player. She played 5 games in 3 days. So her muscles need to repair. So she like before every game, she's putting the Deep Blue on, and then after every game. So it's really great because this one has it's called heliochrysum in it, and wintergreen and peppermint and some other oils, but the heliochrysum is a natural steroid. So it gets into the muscles and it helps the inflammation.
Yeah, it works really well. I mean, I use that because you sent me a sample of it and I used it on achy muscles and I was like, oh, it penetrates. You feel it penetrating. It feels so good.
Yep.
For
And
those of
then
you that don't know me, I mean, I hike, I rock climb, I do all kinds of stuff. So my muscles get sore and I was like, oh, this is good. It really was penetrating and not all chemically.
and I don't know if I told you about my favorite recipe, but it's the deep blue. So I like to make the roller balls, and it's fun. I keep them in my bag, my purse, and then they also make great gifts when I'm going. I love to share oils with people, but the roller recipe is like 20 drops of the deep blue. Then I add 10 drops of peppermint because peppermint's a driving oil where it helps get the other oils. It just helps makes them stronger to drive in, and then like 15 drops of copaiba. So copaiba is not on this list here, but it's really great for nerves and for the immune system and for anxiety, but it also helps just get into the muscles and relax the muscles. So
doesn't copaiba help with like feminine, like didn't you tell me something that helps with feminine, because you have me taking it internally every day?
Yeah, it's an overall. Well, and this is what I love because I can't always remember everything, but this is my absolute favorite book. It's called Oil Magic.
I love it. It's awesome. I've already used it a bunch of times. I'm like, oh, let me go get that book for a minute.
Yep. And so I kind of forget, but this is copaiba here. So it's good for top uses, says headaches, migraines. You can massage it onto your temples, scalp, and back of your neck. It's good for pain and inflammation. And so when we have women issues, that's inflammation happening somewhere in our body. I actually will, that same rollerball blend, the deep blue, peppermint, and copaiba, I will put that right on my tummy, whether it's, those crampy feelies, or sometimes I get, in my back from cramps. So you can make that and put it right directly on. And when you take it internally, you're going the same way. It's copaiba, so Copaiba. So that's that. Actually, it helps with wrinkles, pimples, and blisters. See, I forget this. This is why I love this book, because I'm like, oh, blisters. Could use that for my daughter. High blood pressure helps with athlete's foot, and it's a good detox. And so when we have women issues, that a lot of times there's toxins in our body. That's a great way. Helps with anxiety, skin, mood disorders, infections. And then the emotional use, it's for unveiling the falseness and shame and guilt. Interesting. So that is copaiba. And I think there was another question that I might have missed, Mel. Are you watching these with me?
Yeah, it's about spraying. Where else can they spray On Guard? Is it more efficient than other places? They spray it on their, Sherry sprays it on her upper chest and near her shoulders.
Okay.
Is there certain places that they can spray On Guard or breathe that are more efficient than other places?
I love that question. That's a super great question. So one of the things I give my customers when they first sign up is it's a two pages of different recipes. So 2 years of member testimonials of the most effective recipes. And this will share with you exactly where to even place it. So I'm going to just look up On Guard here. They also call it the bomb. So if you're feeling run down, you can put it in a veggie cap with On Guard, melaleuca, lemon, oregano, and frankincense. In fact, that's what I did when I had COVID. But one of the things that is actually a really great place to put it is the bottom of your feet. And so I'm not going to go into that now, but in here, and I don't know if you've seen this, Mel, there is a chart. And I apologize, my lighting's not better, but there's a chart of feet. So for reflexology.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I haven't seen that yet. I haven't read the whole thing yet. I just I need to look up this oil. Why am I? Because I actually, I don't know if you mentioned this yet or not. I didn't hear you mention it, but the whole, like when you smell an oil, whether you like the smell of it or it repels you. And in a garden, I love the smell of geranium, but the essential oil, when I was diffusing it, I'm like, oh, it smells like old lady perfume. Like that perfume when I hug someone and I'm wearing it for the rest of the day. And I was just like, what is that about? So I was looking in the book to see what the emotional was. I was like, oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I love that Mel brought that up because another book that I like to reference. So I love to make sure that you guys are equipped that's my whole mission, encourage and equip you to be empowered to use natural solutions. And so this book is called Emotions and Essential Oils. I think I got it on Aroma Tools. And so if we look up, like Mel was talking about On Guard, what's the amazing thing about oils is they help raise your level of vibration. So as you all know with Mel, she talks a lot about allow the now, which has been, I have my whole family doing this, and it's been life-changing, because when you're totally present, things come up, right? And it's not easy to feel them. But as you're able to sit in and allow that, then you can let it go and work through things. And so when you don't like a smell of an oil, it might be because you're not ready to work through that particular emotion. So for me, there's a oil blend called Passion, because we have an emotional oil kit, and it was all about joy. Well, I had been working through some grieving and some other things, and so I wasn't ready to work on that. And so it's just it's a great reminder to know that every oil will have, like for On Guard, it's called the oil of protection. And so it helps you release negative emotions of being attacked, unprotected, vulnerable, controlled, or manipulated. And then it helps you receive positive properties of healthy boundaries, protected, capable, integrity, independent, reinforced, and strengthened. So, so each oil. So that's a great comment, Mel. But I also
I got one more question. Would there be anything to help stop cataract progression?
Okay, we can definitely. I'll get back to that in 1 second. So this one person was asking about breathing On Guard and where to place it. And I'm just looking at this foot reflexology. The bottom of the foot, it says, is the lung points. So you can, what I like to do when I'm dealing with, say, like my have a really bad sinus infection or some hard time with breathing with my daughter or my son, we'll put it on topically. So we put it on the bottom of the feet, and then also the chest, because I know you have lung points by your chest, but then also diffuse it. And then in the case of On Guard, you can take it internally. So when I'm fighting something, I use it all 3 ways, if it's possible. So that, because then your body's gonna metabolize it in the best, in all 3 of the different ways. But I'm gonna look up cataracts quick. And like I said, I will be have time for anyone that wants to check in afterwards, and we can talk specifically. But this has different things, and I don't see cataracts right offhand, but I will look into that more, and then I will, whoever had the question, probably the best thing to do is to set up a Calendly with me. And I think, Mel, do you have my link? Otherwise I can find that. Oops.
You didn't send me that link. I only had the link for the kits. I don't have your Calendly link.
Okay, I'm going to put it in right now, and I'll put it in there. So whoever had the question,
And then how long do you diffuse at a time? Someone just asked. There's her Calendly link. It's in the chat if you want to book a 15-minute chat with Amy to answer all your questions. But somebody just asked, how long do you diffuse at a time?
So awesome question. So these diffusers have a couple of different settings. Like one is like continuous for 2 hours or 4 hours, or you can do it intermittently, I think for like 8 hours. And
I think it says 12 on there on mine anyway.
Does it?
I don't know if it really lasts 12 hours or not, but yeah, because I have them going nonstop.
So I do as well.
Yeah, I diffuse nonstop.
I love that, Mel. Yeah, you know what? I do as well. So, and because we have an office, our business, we have a family business is in our lower level. So I have diffuser. I used to carry my diffuser around. Now I bought different diffusers. I love having one in the kitchen because especially all the different smells, it will cleanse the air. I actually burnt toast. No, I burnt garlic toast. And I was having a class in my dining room, could not even smell the burnt toast, you guys. It was so funny. And I'm like, I went and I grabbed out of the oven, and I wish I would have taken a picture of it. They're completely black and charred, but because the diffuser was running, it was cleansing the air, and I never even smelled the burnt toast. So I know it's cleaning the counters, it's cleaning the air. Especially with the COVID going on, I keep one in my bathroom now too, the bathroom that everybody uses all day. And that one I usually put on intermittent, so it'll go through all day. But if I'm sitting in a desk space, I have it continuous. So it's really actually just your preference, what you like the best. And
So
there's,
Amy, on the cataracts,
yeah.
back to cataracts, page 27, 76, and 128.
Oh, those are in there.
Yeah, those
Okay.
are that's where cataracts are mentioned in there. 29, 76, and 128.
Oh,
So
I wonder.
frankincense, rosemary, cypress, vitality trio.
Okay, that's the vitamin
Oh,
pack.
no, that just shows.
So
Okay.
yeah, so that, and I was going to talk about that when we get to the end here. So what basically, I think you have a newer book than mine, Mel. So that's why mine didn't show it. But yeah, we can make a snapshot of that. But really, what the foundation, and it's on the back here of this sheet, and there's the vitamin pack that they're talking about, and that's probably hard to see, but right there it shows, and it's the lifelong vitality vitamins. And basically it's our number one selling product. And what I love about the vitamins is that they have essential oils infused into them so that they can get into the cells easier. So there's the mega oils, which is really important. There is the vitamin and minerals. It's like 22 different vitamins and minerals. And the alpha CRS, which is a cellular repair. And so that is all three of them work together to help repair, because basically when you're having something like cataracts, something's breaking down at the cellular level, obviously. But when you help support the body, it can heal itself from the inside out. So you're repairing the cells because there's oxidation, which is basically just a breakdown of the cell. You can think of it like rust on a car. So it's helping repair the cells. And then there's some different oils that looks like Mel was mentioning. So yeah, great question.
So Amy, in this book where it says the cellular complex blend, what is doTERRA's version of that?
So that's the
In its
general name,
oil.
and that is I'm pretty sure it's DDR prime, damaged DNA repair. So it's a blend that they have put together that I know there's like frankincense and thyme and some different oils in there, and it's a great way to it's going to help repair the cells. And so that is so really the oil helps the cells, and then you might say, oh, you need some different vitamins from here or there to repair the cell, and then that's where the vitamins together come in. So it's probably said the DDR prime or cellular complex, the lifelong LLV or lifelong vitality trio, and then yeah, the book is Advanced Oil Magic. Yep. So definitely make an appointment with me. And then I see, like, when you mention a roller ball, is that a bottle of Carriol? Yes, you got it, Kathy. You understand it. So I have different roller balls that I make. So it's basically, you take the roller ball and you'll put in that one recipe I mentioned about pain. You just take the cap off and you add the oils, and you can actually, if you have children or grandchildren, you can dilute it more, or for people with sensitive skin. So that's the other thing nice about making the roller balls. You can I tend to have sensitive skin, so I put sometimes less oils in there. And then the fractionated coconut oil is something that you get, and you fill up the top. You put the essential oils in at the bottom, and then you fill up the rest with the fractionated coconut oil. And then you have a roller ball that you can take with you. So great question.
And then someone asked if you can recommend a good diffuser.
Absolutely. So let me just finish I'm just going to finish going through, so I make sure I covered each of these, and then we'll talk on the back, and then I'll tell you how you can get a good diffuser. So I just want to make sure you knew about a couple other oils. DigestZen. This is DigestZen. This one is awesome. So we have a bookkeeper that works for our family business, and she came up last week and she could not stand up. And I was like, are you okay? Okay. She sat down. First of all, she breathed so we could get her to calm down, because it also helps with the mind and slowing the mind. And then we put DigestZen. First, she took it internally. Actually, she just you can put it right under your tongue. It doesn't taste the best because it's pretty strong.
No, it doesn't taste the best, but it really works. I've used it twice already when I felt nauseous, and it works amazing.
Yes. So you can put it, I do not. It has that black, is it anise? I think I said that right. That black licorice taste, but it works really good. And it's got like ginger, peppermint, and some other things. So we put it behind her ears, put it on her tummy and internal. And the vertigo was able to help just go away. And like Mel said, super good for upset stomach. But then there's one other hack that I like to tell people. If you have a stuffy nose, I usually end up diffusing the breathe, especially when I'm sleeping with On Guard, but I put the Digestin all over. When I had COVID, which I had last November, I put this, you go to bed and you just feel like your whole face is just filled where nothing's moving. You can put the Digestin topically all over your sinus cavities, and it helps open things up. So it relieves upsets, motion sickness. Super awesome to take on the plane if you're traveling or in your car, and use at mealtime for improved digestion. So Mel, I know you have it. Even if you're not feeling nauseous, I still like to recommend people to take it when before they eat or after. It doesn't matter, because the more you're able to absorb the nutrients out of your food and digest them, the more you're not just what you eat, you're what your body can digest. So it improves your digestion. And then last is lemon, which we talked about, and then frankincense. This is the king of all oils. And so this one is also has the supplement label. I put this one under my tongue. When I start feeling anxious, it really just helps me calm my mind. It's also great for inflammation. So if you have inflammation in your body, put 2 drops under your tongue morning and night. Headaches. I had a really bad headache yesterday. I'll put it right on the roof of my mouth. You can do that even every hour. And if you go like this with your thumb and just put it on you're not getting like maybe a full whole drop, but then that's a really good way to help with headaches as well. So promotes calm feelings, supports a healthy nervous system, and helps the cells perform optimally. So aromatic, topical, and internal is the 3. And I think your question is, which oil was I just sharing? Maybe that was the question. It's called frankincense. So Frank, I-N, sense, C-E-N-S-E. So that, I also heard Dr. Hill from doTERRA say that if that's like just overall one of the most broadest reaching because of different properties of frankincense. So it's a great one to have on hand. And it's good for wrinkles. I always like to add that. All right. So the question was about the diffuser. Well, I did share that I was going to tell you if you wanted to get the oils into your home, how you can go about that. And they have different kits, and Mel's going to show that in a minute. But I just want to share there's 3 different ways that you can purchase essential oils. First is retail. I don't recommend retail. Most of my customers do not buy retail. The only time you usually buy retail is if you're going into like maybe a massage therapist or a chiropractor's office. They will usually sell it, they'll sell it to you at retail. But the best way to buy is wholesale. And I know that's how Mel started, because then you get 25% off the retail price and you get a discounted starter kit. So they give you a free membership, which is like a $35 for the year. They waive that fee, and then they give you 25% off. So you get a discounted rate, and then you're able to buy below wholesale if you decide you want to buy in the future, because really doTERRA is not just an essential oil company, it's a health and wellness. So I mentioned the lifelong vitality vitamins. They are the top selling vitamins. And so they have vitamins. They also have cleaning products. I talked about On Guard. I make my own cleaners, but they have laundry detergent, they have toothpaste. They have all sorts of different products, like 20 different On Guard products. They have green. This year they came out with new protein powder and greens and fiber. So they're really a health and wellness store. But when you have a wholesale account, what happens is it's basically like a frequent flyer program. As you order each month, you will get your shipping back in points, and you'll get like up to 30%. You eventually can earn up to 30% back in points to redeem for free products. And so I like to say I love Costco. My family goes to Costco every week, but we only get, I think, 2% back. But with doTERRA, I get 30% back. So it's really a great way. So I know, I think, Mel, did you just put it in the chat? So I think she put
Yes, I did.
okay, she put the link to the kits. So someone was asking about diffusers. I have bought them off of Amazon. Sometimes I've tried all sorts of different ones because I have lots of different diffusers in my house. Sometimes they work 2 months, 3 months. I had to throw them away. Other times I've found ones that have worked. You just want to make sure they're ultrasonic. And what I really do recommend the doTERRA ones though, because I've had one now 6 years. I've dropped it on the tile floor. I can't believe it. I mean, tile, and it's still working 6 years later. So the ones through doTERRA are really, really high quality that are going to last a long time. So the kits that Mel had shown is a great way to get started because you're going to get free oils, you're going to get a free wholesale account, and I also give my customers that sign up with me, they're going to get free samples of my favorite different products that I have, along with some of my favorite blends. This one's called Calm and Sleep. So it's a little roller ball. So if you sign up with me, you would get this free kit along.
And I use that little roller ball every night and it helps me go to sleep.
I love it. And that's I didn't even tell you probably what that recipe was yet. That's Balance and then Serenity. So Serenity is our blend that has lavender, but then it also has like cedar wood and a couple other ones. Super awesome. But then you're also going to get from me 2 pages of the recipes and the protocols of the most effective from member testimonials. So those are the kits. And I don't know if there's a way maybe to show it. Because what I recommend is either if you're interested, I forgot to send the link to the picture to Mel, but today and tomorrow only, there's actually an extra bonus. If you spend 100 points, they call it PV, you actually get a free Breathe roller ball, which is Breathe, which is, in a roller ball. But then if you spend, like, I know the kit that Mel started on is I think it's 200 PV. What you actually get is 10 of the top oils plus a diffuser, and then today or tomorrow only you'll have another free Breathe oil, a free peppermint oil, a free Breathe roller, and they have Breathe cough drops. So that's a special that's going on right now. So you can either set up a Calendly or I'm happy, like if you want, I can even just send you a link if that's something that you're interested in getting started with. Maybe I'll put my email in the chat.
Yeah, if there's a link you can just put in the chat for them to just go to. I mean, if you have the link or whatever.
So if I do the link, I'm not sure if it's one per, the reason I'm not going to do that,
okay.
It's like one per one person.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, so just have them get on a call with you. Okay.
So I think the best thing, yeah, I think a call will be probably the best. I'm going to put my cell phone. If people like to text, they can go ahead and text me and I can text them a link. I think that's what I did with you, Mel. Super easy. All you do is you put your contact and your information. And so that's yeah, really, if you want to think about it more, but if like I said, today and tomorrow, that you'll get an extra 4 free products. Plus you save on the large kit. I think it's, I was gonna see if I had my thing. If you can read it, Mel, I think you save like $104, it says.
Yeah, I forget. I got that kit. I love that kit. I loved it. It was a great starter kit. And now I already have to re-up on all my oils. I had to do an oil inventory. I created a spreadsheet of my oil inventory so I could know what I needed to order. I'm like, oh shoot, those are like getting halfway down. I need to order them now.
of course, because Mel is organized. I should have done that years ago. Yes, I know, oil inventory.
I got like a separate drawer for my oils. They're all organized. It's part of my routine now. Like in the morning, I have to refill my diffusers, and then usually before I go to bed, like in the middle of the day, I refill them. But it's like part of my morning routine now to refill my diffusers and get my scent going in my space.
Yeah. And okay, so we're almost out of time here, and I just wanted to share one last thing. So this book that we were talking about, I'm actually going to be also giving this away. There, Mel's got it. So I also, if you want to book a class like this and you're interested, I will give you that free oil magic book. So once you've hosted the class, and all you do is just think of like friends and family, just like Mel did. You can send, and I can set up the Zoom, not a problem, and we'll host that way. So that's the last thing. There's 3 different types of people. There's those that live the wellness lifestyle. I love that, empowering you with natural solutions and helping you really, live your best life, and have those solutions at your hand. Then those are that share. They like to get the products paid for. That's what how I first started out, because I saw the power of essential oils and how I didn't have to. My son actually was on, well, the first 5 years of his life, he was on 8 to 10 meds a day. And it was allergies, asthma, sinus infections. He was so sick. That's what really started me on the natural health journey. And so when I realized that I could use essential oils, when I, my husband used to get sinus infections, like 6 of them a year. And then with my son, I mean, we were taking so many medications. And once I figured out that you can strengthen the body, and so the body can do the work to fight off all these illnesses. That's why I started sharing them, because I wanted other people to know about these solutions. But then my dream is to build and earn an income, and I like to share the story of a good friend of mine who had lupus, and the Mayo Clinic here in Minnesota actually, she had severe arthritis, degenerative arthritis, severe depression, lupus, and basically could not walk more than 2 blocks. And they said, here's your meds, and there's not much more we can do for you. But somebody introduced her to doTERRA essential oils and how her body was able to heal. She also had been in a abusive marriage for 30 years. She never even had her own she never even had a checking account, like a joint one with her name on it. She was completely financially dependent, so she never had anything to herself. But once she learned the power of these oils and her body has gotten healthier, she started doing this as a business and sharing it with people. And she has been, let's see, it was 2 years ago, I saw her put up her story. She actually hiked 7.5 miles. She got remarried, so on her honeymoon, she hiked 7.5 miles, and she's making over 6 figures now through the doTERRA income. So that's my dream and goal, because I want to build retreat centers here in Minnesota. We're the land of 10,000 lakes. I want Mel to come and teach about decluttering. I want to have breakthrough classes with Forbes. There's so many things I want to do. So I just want to empower each of you, because you matter. Your story matters. I love meeting with any of you that wants to set up an iCalendar. Today I have time right after class, and then I have time tomorrow morning as well, if you want to take advantage of any of those specials. And if you'd like to host a class, I love to you'd get a free oil and a book from me. So with that, I know there's been some more. I didn't catch everything going on in the chat. If you have a couple minutes, Mel, for any last minute questions, otherwise I'm done presenting.
One more question was, how is her arthritis?
Yeah, awesome. She, like I said, she was able to hike 7 miles on her honeymoon 2 years ago. So I think it was I think she got divorced 4 years ago. So as Mel would say, decluttering is not just paper and stuff, it's toxic relationships.
Yep, so I decluttered my life with my ex-wife. It was the best thing I ever did. My life skyrocketed right after.
Yep. So this friend of mine that I was mentioning, she decluttered that. She had to, get rid of that toxic relationship. And, it's definitely been a journey. But like I was mentioning, those vitamins, the lifelong vitality, being able to take care of yourself, spirit, soul, and body. That's what I love about the essential oils. Most people start with some of the physical things, but as you realize that you hang around Mel, you'll understand. You do the allow the now, you realize, when you do the lull now, like yesterday, I just thought of Mel. I'm like, okay, I got to sit here with this headache. I got to think about it. I can't try to I just had to be in the moment. And then because of the essential oils, I was able to use the frankincense and the deep blue and just be able to be in the moment. And guess what? It did pass. I'm not opposed to medication if people need, I've definitely taken Advil. In fact, I used to take 8 to 10 a day. So I've taken, and medications have saved my son's life. So there's definitely a place for it. But as you continue to help your body heal from the inside out, we've been able to switch over to pretty much all natural.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amy, for taking the time out of your day to share oils with us. I am so passionate about oils. I love them. I'm so glad that I brought them back into my life, and I use them for everything now. It's like I have my lemon in my water, my copaiba in the morning, and all kinds of good stuff. So what if we want to change diffuser oils? Yeah, you just keep adding oil. You wipe it out every once in a while. There's instructions on how to clean it with like some vinegar and water or something like that, 10 drops of vinegar and some water, but super simple, super easy. I think maybe like once a week or something, clean it out. I've only done it once so far, and it's been like 2 months. So who knows?
Yeah, they do. My goal is once a month.
Once a month. Okay. So once a month is good. I'm good then. I did it once so far in 2 months.
And then sometimes I just take the paper towel and the vinegar, but you can run it with water and then like the 10 drops of, or a teaspoon of vinegar and run it through for 5 minutes. So the more you upkeep it, then the longer it'll last.
It lasts. Yeah.
And then some of the oils, like different tree oils, can be really thick, or like myrrh. Yeah. Some of those are just thicker. So then it's definitely a good idea to run it.
Yeah. And yes, Kathy, you can just add the other oil with the former. Yep. Because by the time it's time to change it over, it's so minimal in there anyway. You just smell the new oil. You don't smell the one that was in there before. And
I have another hack for you too. I love doing this. So I haven't even told you, maybe I did tell you the smell, but when you put the two, sometimes I can give you all sorts of, you can Google recipes, but there's all sorts of different, diffuser recipes depending on what you want. But I just sometimes just put the bottles up together and smell them at the same time. It's like, oh, do I like those two scents together? If I'm not specifically looking for a certain thing, and then you kind of smell at the same time, and then you're like, oh, that's what it'll smell when they come out of the diffuser. So awesome. Well, thank you everyone for your time. Thank you so much for being here. We do have to wrap up. I have another meeting right after this, but thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate your time, and I hope you get a chance to use oils, or if you already use them, awesome. But I love working from the inside out, and oils are the way to go. So thanks so much, Amy. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate you having me. Hope to hear from some of you. All right. Thanks, Mel.
All right. Take care. Bye.